Quasi here, and in this video, I'm going to share with you how you can completely control your mind, learn to manage your state, and break out of this scarcity cycle of seeing inconsistent results. Whether this be with your business, whether this be with other areas of your life you've been trying to improve, like with relationships, and stop seeing this pattern happening where you move 2 steps forward and eventually 2 steps back. This was very, very crucial for me in my journey towards growing my business, even starting my business. Learning to see consistent results happen and being consistent internally at the right period, with the right duration, so that the results do come to fruition. I really want you to stick around to the very end of this video, because I'm going to be sharing with you the 3 keys that I learned that I implement every single day internally to start seeing consistent results, so I can set a baseline and actually improve from there. Before I begin this video, I want to quickly announce that a couple of spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery program. Make sure you wait around till the end of the video for the announcement on that. If you've been trying to sign up in the past, this is your chance now, because spots are open and they get filled up very, very quickly. And with that, let's get started. So in this video, I want to talk to you about breaking this scarcity cycle. What does that mean? What's a scarcity cycle? A scarcity cycle is you keep staying stuck in a situation you don't want to be stuck in. You're in contractiveness, not in expansiveness. You keep experiencing a little drip of success, but then you keep going back down into failure, right? And why does this keep happening? Why do you, get to maybe 10K months in your business and then come back down to 5K months? You're never able to maintain it. Well, this is what this scarcity cycle comes down to. And the biggest problem, the biggest barrier that causes this state to happen more and more is mismanagement of your own internal importance levels, of importance. Mismanagement of importance. What do I mean by that? You've probably been taught that, if you want something bad enough, you're going to get it. If you just want it bad enough, you'll be able to overcome procrastination. While it's true, most people misunderstand wanting with needing, right? That's a trap. Whenever you put too many eggs in one basket, but then you get into a fearful state about it, you stop trusting it and you get into doubting it, that's when the problem arises, So importance level means you're putting too much meaning onto this one thing. There are many different things in your life, right? There is your relationship, there is your health, there is your business, there is your career, there is your wealth, there's your family. All of these things have a certain level of importance. When one of these things gains a disproportionate amount of meaning, that's when you have an inflated importance level. That's when life will do anything to balance out that inhomogeneity in its field. What do I mean by an inhomogeneity? So it's like you have all of these things, right? You have all of the little factors in your life, the family, relationships, wealth, blah, blah, blah. When one thing becomes too important, it creates this inhomogeneity, aka an imbalance in the field of nature, When this imbalance occurs, nature wants to do the very best it can to balance it out, Kind of like this, if I take this chalk up here, it gains gravitational potential energy. Just like that, when you hold too much importance to one thing happening, you really want it to happen, all you can do is obsess and think about it, and not having it. The thought of not having it makes you feel like, oh shit, no, I don't want that, oh God, oh. It makes you fearful, right? It makes you panicky, it makes you anxious, the thought of not having it. That's when you have an inflated importance level. So again, just to reiterate that point, there's a very key difference between wanting something and needing something. Your importance level is inflated when you need something. When you truly want it with all your heart, you're not even thinking about not having it, right? So when the thought of not having it makes you feel uncomfortable, that's when you know you have an inflated importance level. So when that happens, when life doesn't go to your expectations, you naturally have this importance level, and as a result, you create this imbalance in nature. The question becomes, how do you solve it? Before I get to that, I want to use a couple of examples to really concretize this idea, right? I'll give you an example. When in my business, I would put a lot of importance to some things. So when I was starting off my business, and when things would sort of be inconsistent. I remember doing these consult calls to seeing if potential clients were a fit. Back then, looking back at it now, I wasn't even looking for the fit. I was looking at me, if I was good enough. Like, oh, will you buy my program kind of thing, I was coming at it with the mindset of I'm just trying to sell something so I can make money, so I can, show my parents that yes, I can do it. As opposed to actually genuinely coming into the calls and being like, let's see if we can help. And whenever I came from that mindset of trying to sell, it never sold, right? The potential clients could feel this neediness coming from me. But when I shifted my mindset to the point of let's come into this and let's not need this. When I stopped needing it, that's when it started to happen. So what you've got to remember is that the hungry never get fed, right? You've got to maintain a good balance in your hunger levels. You've got to be hungry to the point where you don't need to eat food, but you want to. You kind of want to eat food. So that's the perfect level of hunger. It's understanding that sweet spot between effort and surrender, right? So in my business, what that caused for me was a roller coaster. 1 month I would do 5K, next month I would go back down to 0. Then I would come up to 8K and then go back down to 5K. It was never a consistent level. I never saw any consistency to the point where I could just pull a lever and ramp up one aspect of it. And because of that, I was stuck at a certain level for a very long time, this inconsistent revenue level in my business. So the question becomes, Kwazi, how did you overcome it? Learning how to manage my internal state. Right? Learning how to never be needy. Because people think that, oh, in order to eliminate non-neediness in your sales calls, you just have to have a lot of sales calls. Right? That's a very good point. If you have a lot of something, if you have a date with a girl or you have a proposal meeting with a prospective business, if you have 100 of those, this one becomes less important. Right? But if you go on one date a year, you do one proposal meeting a year, then that proposal meeting becomes super important, right? But it's not even the fact of you having one date or having one proposal meeting. It's about the importance that you put onto it. So a gimmick is to have many proposal meetings and many dates. But the true solution lies in learning how to control your internal state. That comes over time with more experience. Now I could have just one call a year and still not feel the same way that I felt when I had that one call a month back when I was starting off my business. I can nurture my internal state of importance now just by making the intention to do so. So that comes over time as you keep getting experience, as you start to see how life works, and you have a longer term vision of where you actually want your business to go, right? So that's the key part you've got to understand. Now, let's get to key number 1 in really making sense of this. So how does your internal state affect your external reality? And this leads me to what we call the delay principle of reality, okay? Remember this, the delay principle. If you want to check a detailed video out on that, I'm not going to get into much detail here, please make sure you click up here. You've got to know this, okay? Please pause this video right now and check it out right now because you've got to know this. If you know this, a lot of things will change for you. You will naturally have less importance levels. So make sure you understand this video. I'm going to link it up here, click the little I here to check it out. But understanding the delay principle of reality is as simple as understanding your internal state will be reflected out into your external reality and what you're seeing with a delay. Why does this happen? It's easier to feel a certain way than it is to move matter because matter is inert. So because of that, how reality works is like a mirror, like a dual mirror. With your thoughts and attitudes, you present an image to this mirror. When you raise your arm up in front of this mirror and you present this image, this mirror of reality reflects it with a delay. The reflection will also raise its hand up, but with a delay. What does that mean for your internal state exactly? Let's find out. So let's say I draw this graph, right? Let's see if it fits here, right? Let's say I draw this graph, and on the x-axis, I have time, t. On the y-axis, we will have two different graphs. One for your external results, we'll call R, and I'll draw it in white. And one for your internal state, which is in red, I'll call it S. So when you want to manifest something, you begin off with very high state, right? But your state drops when you don't see the result. But when the result comes, your state goes back up, just like that. But what happens with results is when you begin trying to manifest something, you begin at level zero with result, right? And then you go up. And when you hit your absolute lowest point in your state, the result shows. But then it reflects it with a delay again, and then it goes back down. So let me explain this. At t equals 0, you begin with a high state, no result. You're coming at it, you want to manifest business success. You've started up a new business, you want to get some clients. This is what happens. You feel good, you go at it, you do your prospecting activities, you reach out to a lot of clients, you reach out to a lot of people, you feel good about it, it's going to happen, it's going to happen, it's going to happen. And you keep that attitude up, great. As time passes and you don't see the results come in yet, because reality reflects this with a delay, you don't see the results yet. As time passes, your state goes down a little bit. You're like, oh, it's not coming, but it's okay. I still feel good a little bit. And then it goes, oh, it's going to happen. It's going to happen. It's going to happen. It goes down. It goes down. But at the same time, reality is cooking up your order for you, but just with a delay. The chef takes a little bit of time to prepare your meal. It's coming. It's coming. Just when you hit the peak, just when you're about to give up. This is what happened to me, by the way. Just when you're about to give up, boom. That's when the result shows up. So let's call this T critical. T critical is when the result shows up. The difference between T0 and T critical is delta T. Delta T is the time taken for the results to manifest based on the intensity of the attitudes and emotions you have and the thoughts that you're focusing on and how unwavering you can keep it, right? If you kept this up long enough and you kept it up at a higher state very consistently, it would manifest very, very quickly. But it takes some time, right? Because again, reality does work with a delay. Unless you have the Messiah's mastery of your intention, it's not going to happen overnight. So it does take a little bit of a delay time, and that's delta T. And when it does happen, you get to your lowest state. Now, when the result shows up here, now it reflects this state when you were feeling down about it. Now it reflects that with a delay. So what will happen is, either it'll take you again a very, very long time to find another client, or something will happen with this client. They will ask for a refund, or something crazy will happen. This was happening to me a lot. This is what shook me up a lot in my business. But because I persisted through it and I really understood the internal dynamics, it's really sad. A lot of people understand all of the tactics and strategies, but they don't understand the mindset, the internals behind it. They don't have the internal tactics and strategies, and because of that, they give up. Right? They'll go back to their 9 to 5, and then 2 years later, they'll be like, oh, I want to do it again. I didn't try my best. And they'll come back again, and the same pattern will happen because they just don't understand, right? So if you understand this, a lot of things will change for you. So please make sure you click up and check that video, right? So that's the delay principle. The delay principle explains why you keep staying stuck in a rut, because you get affected by what you're seeing outside. Your internal state here is when you don't see the result, it's going down, right? So now let's understand key number 2. Key number 2 is whenever you are going down, you must catch yourself. You must catch yourself and self-correct, course correct. At this period, you want to course correct. You don't want your state to drop like that. That's dangerous. You never want anything outside to affect your internal state of being. If you can overcome your external world and change the attitudes you feel in spite of what you see outside, you will rule your world. I can tell you that for sure. Others will watch as you climb to success very, very quickly and get absolutely untouched by what's happening. If crisis is happening around you and you walk through life untouched, you will be God. You will be God amongst men. Like, that's how powerful this is. Because then, if you're not affected by what's going on around you, you just become absolutely untouchable. No one can touch you. Nothing can touch you. You are the complete ruler of your reality. And that's how it's supposed to be. You were supposed to determine your destiny. But we just fall into the trap of bills, no clients. Oh, I need to get a client right now. Why do you need to get a client right now? Something will show up when the time is right. Let it go. Ease up on it. That's learning how to catch yourself. But another big problem that happens is, and this is a very, very big key that I had to overcome, even still overcome to this day, is when you start to get into this rut, right? When you get into this rut, you get lost. You start to escape it. You start to do anything that you can to escape this, that feeling. Instead of confronting it, you will do anything to escape it. So I remember, if I'm expecting a client to get back to me, a prospective client to join my program, I'll keep searching up on social media, to see if they messaged me. I'll keep checking my email. I'll keep checking my Stripe account if they made the payment, blah, blah, blah. I'll just keep checking. That's what used to happen to me. I would just keep incessantly checking, oh no, is it happening? Did they do it? Did they do it yet? And that's, again, what kept me stuck in that scarcity. Because I'm coming from a place of fear and I'm doing all of these things. And I'm actually escaping what I'm truly feeling. This isn't letting go. This is just incessantly trying to control every little thing. So the key to overcoming that is whenever you do get into that cycle of trying to escape what you're truly feeling, when you do enter this rut, the best thing to do is to let it go and surrender it. And by surrender, I mean letting it be. Whenever you find yourself trying to escape, stop everything. Stop everything, just sit with that feeling. Literally just sit there with that feeling and feel it. It's going to be a heavy feeling in your heart. That's what happens. You have a very heavy feeling in your heart and this whole area from your throat to your belly. Just let it be and completely observe it until the energy, the concentrated energy there is, it dissipates. That's when you correct yourself back up. You will see next day things will start to go really well. I don't know why this happens, but it does. So there's an energetic clearing that occurs. So the key is to catch yourself and let go. If you want to see a video I made about letting go, click up here and how to truly let it be. This is how you coordinate your own internal importance levels. Very, very important. Key number 3. This is more of a preventative mechanism so that your importance level doesn't go up. Okay? This is trusting the process. You've heard this a million times before, but never have you heard it like this. When you make an intention, you place an order. You place an order to life to prepare something, what you want for you. But life doesn't always take the path that you think it will take. It takes the path of least resistance. Life is very, very intelligent. This universe is infinite intelligence. It will take the most optimal route to delivering your goals and at the same time satisfying a million other people. So when life takes you from 5K a month to 0 to maybe making a loss to bring you up to 100K the month after, when life takes you through 8 failed businesses to have the 9th one succeed, trust the process. Trust the process and just show up. All you need to do is show up and do what you know. Because you can't do what you don't know. Trust that at the right time, the right things will show up for you. Because people don't know how to do this, they get caught up in the rut again and start to doubt themselves. Doubt is the biggest killer. Never doubt yourself. Question yourself. Question yourself completely. Look for the right things. But don't doubt yourself. If you make a decision to move forward, follow through with it until you fail or until you succeed. Because there's no such thing as failure. If you make failure a thing in your vocabulary, you're going to fail. There is no such thing as failure. There is success or the path that leads you to success. There is success in the path that bends to success. And with that, I conclude this video. Let's recap what we talked about, right? The biggest problem and why you keep falling in a rut and experience this scarcity cycle is mismanaging your internal state of being. Why that happens is because you put too much importance on certain things and things become a disproportionate amount of meaning attached to them. So to really understand this, you have certain things in your life, different areas of your life. One area of your life becomes too important. That's the area that suffers. That's the area that has a lot of friction that you have to overcome. Because life is trying to balance out that excess potential, that potential you created by taking the path of least resistance again. So understand that in order to overcome that, key number 1, the delay principle. Everything will show up with a delay. There is nothing to worry about. If it's not coming now, it will come. But when you start to doubt yourself and you start to second guess, question yourself, that's when you run into a problem, right? There are many ways to get over doubt. The biggest way to get over doubt and confidence, a lack of self-confidence, is again getting clarity. If you have clarity, you don't need self-confidence. If you're fully clear about where it is you want to go in your life, it's just a matter of putting one foot in front of the other and going towards it, right? And understand that the delay time is denoted by delta t. When you get to your lowest point internally in your internal state, the result shows up because delta t has elapsed. The key is to keep this state consistent instead of fluctuating like this. So when you feel great, results don't show because you've just made that intention and you're starting on this journey. When you feel shitty, that's when the result shows because now the delay time has elapsed. But now as you start to feel good, reality starts to reflect that downtime you've had, again with a delay, and it takes away that result, or again makes it very, very hard to achieve. Key number 2, catch yourself when you are feeling down to maintain that consistency. Let go of this concentrated energy that you've put by putting a disproportionate amount of meaning on something. Stop trying to escape it on social media and email, or reading a book, or doing some mundane activity. Confront that feeling itself. Face it. Ask for more of it. Let it be. There's a great book on this. It's called Letting Go by David R. Hawkins. It's on Amazon. You can definitely check that out. It's very good. It will teach you the mechanics behind surrender. Key number 3, trust the process. Whatever you do, know that you're doing the best you can with the knowledge that is available to you right now. And if you do have that kind of faith, the right knowledge at the right time will show up for you. There is nothing to worry about. There is nothing to doubt yourself about. You've placed an order. The waiter is just taking his time, her time. The chef is also cooking up your order. And if you keep trying to budge the waiter like, oh, why isn't it done yet? Why isn't it done yet? It just makes it worse. Then you get a shitty meal delivered to you because now you tell the chef to rush it. Life is just taking its own path to delivering your goals. Be patient, it will come. And with that, I conclude this video. Thank you so much for watching. I sincerely hope this was helpful. If you're new to the channel, make sure you like, comment, subscribe, hit that little bell there so you're notified of any new video that I put out. And also, I'm super excited to announce, as I mentioned before, that spots have opened up for the free one-to-one consult with me and my team for the Reality Mastery Program. Make sure you click on the link in the description below to sign up, and let's see how we can help you. Who we typically work with are people who are professionals who are looking to transition out and start up their own businesses, and they see that the problem isn't an external business or tactic problem. It's an internal lack of clarity. It's an internal identity problem. People who are entrepreneurs as well, who are stuck at an inconsistent revenue, a certain revenue level. They have the tactics and strategies. It was never a tactical or strategic problem, but rather an internal one. Sounds like you? Again, click on the link in the description below to sign up, and I'm looking forward to speaking with you. And also, I'm super excited to announce as well, the free Facebook group is open for you to take advantage of. We are only looking for people who are very, very committed and will contribute to the group, and also the right kinds of people. This is for people who are professionals, creatives, high performers, entrepreneurs. Okay, so there's a 3-question survey when you click on the link. Make sure you fill that up. If you don't fill it up, we won't be able to approve your application. But again, thank you so much for watching. Till next time, peace.